Let's get right into it. Number 10. Shivering when you're cold. Let's kick things off with something we all do, shivering when you're cold. You're standing at the bus stop. It's a chilly morning, and suddenly you're shaking like you're auditioning for a dance-off. That's your ancient brain trying to keep you warm. Back in the day, shivering was a lifesaver. It made your muscles move to generate heat when you were stuck in freezing caves with no heater in sight. It kept our ancestors from turning into human popsicles during the ice ages. But now, dude, we've got jackets, scarves, and heated blankets. You're not a caveman trying to survive a blizzard. You're just waiting for the bus with a coffee in your hand. Yet, your body's still acting like you're about to freeze to death. I shivered so hard last week that I spilled my drink everywhere. A total mess. And for what? This instinct is so pointless now. It just makes us look like we're nervous wrecks. Speaking of looking weird, let's talk about why you're always sniffing out danger for no reason. Number 9. Sniffing out danger everywhere. You're shivering for no reason, but let's talk about why you're always sniffing out danger like a paranoid detective. Ever walk into a room and suddenly get a bad vibe, like something's off? That's your ancient brain playing bloodhound. Back in the day, our ancestors relied on their sense of smell to detect threats, like sniffing out smoke from a forest fire or the stench of a predator nearby. It was a survival skill to keep us alive when danger was everywhere. But now, we're not in the wild anymore. We've got smoke alarms, security systems, and air fresheners. Yet your brain's still on high alert, sniffing for trouble. Like I walked into my friend's house last week and got all tense because I smelled something weird. Turns out, it was just their new candle, not a bear hiding in the kitchen. This instinct is pointless now. It just makes us overthink every whiff. And while we're on instincts that make us paranoid, let's talk about why you're always itching to gossip. Number 8, itching to gossip about everyone. You're sniffing out danger for no reason, but let's talk about why you're always itching to gossip about everyone. Have you ever heard some juicy drama and can't wait to spill the tea? That's your ancient brain craving social intel. Back then, gossip was a survival tool. Knowing who was fighting, who was trustworthy, or who stole someone's food could keep you from picking the wrong side in a tribal feud. It helped our ancestors navigate group dynamics and stay alive. But now we're not in small tribes anymore. We've got millions of people's drama at our fingertips online. Yet, your brain still acts like every bit of gossip is life or death. I spent an hour last night scrolling through a random argument online, and my brain was like, yes, this is crucial. Spoiler, it wasn't. This instinct is pointless now. It just turns us into drama junkies, wasting time on stuff that doesn't matter. And speaking of wasting time, let's talk about why you're always ready to run at the tiniest scare. Number 7. Ready to run at every little scare. You're gossiping about drama that doesn't matter. But let's talk about why you're always ready to run at every little scare. Ever hear a creak in your house at night, and your legs are like, we're out of here? That's your ancient brain prepping you to bolt. Back in the day, any sudden noise or movement could mean a predator was coming for you, like a wolf or a rival tribe sneaking up. Being ready to run at a moment's notice was a survival skill to escape danger fast. But now, we're not dodging predators in the woods. We've got locked doors and cozy beds. Yet, your brain still thinks every sound is a threat. I heard a noise last night and was halfway to the door before I realized it was just my fridge humming. This instinct is pointless now. It makes us paranoid for no reason. And while we're on instincts that make us jumpy, let's talk about why you're always craving salt like it's gold. Number 6. Craving salt like it's gold. You're ready to run at every little scare, but let's talk about why you're craving salt like it's gold. Ever find yourself reaching for the chips even though you know you shouldn't? That's your ancient brain acting like salt is a rare treasure. Back in the day, salt was hard to come by. It was crucial for preserving food and keeping our bodies balanced, especially when we were sweating buckets hunting or gathering. So, our brains evolved to crave it like crazy to ensure we got enough. But now, salt's in everything. Chips, fries, even your salad dressing. We're not struggling to find it anymore, yet your brain's still like, more salt now. I ate a whole bag of chips last weekend because I couldn't stop, and my brain was like, yes, we're surviving, but I was sitting on my couch. This instinct is pointless now. It just leads to bloated bellies and high blood pressure. And speaking of instincts that mess with our choices, let's talk about why you're always drawn to shiny things. Number 5. Being drawn to shiny things. You're craving salt for no reason, but let's talk about why you're always drawn to shiny things like a magpie. Ever see something sparkly, like a new gadget or a piece of jewelry, and your brain's like, I need that. That's your ancient brain thinking shiny equals valuable. Back then, shiny stuff often meant clean water, like a sparkling stream, or rare resources like polished stones that could be used as tools. It was a survival instinct to go after pristine and valuable things. But now we're not scouring rivers for drinking water. We've got bottled water and tap water galore. Yet, your brain still lights up for anything that glitters. I bought a shiny phone case last month because it caught my eye, but I didn't even need it. It just sits in a drawer. This instinct is pointless now. It makes us impulse buy stuff we don't need. And while we're on instincts that make us act impulsively, let's talk about why you're constantly climbing to high places. Number 4, always climbing to high places. You're drawn to shiny things for no reason, but let's talk about why you're constantly climbing high places like a wannabe mountain goat. Ever feel the urge to climb a tree or stand on a chair to get a better view? That's your ancient brain looking for safety and strategy. Back then, getting to higher ground was a survival tactic. It let our ancestors spot predators, scout for food, or even escape danger by climbing trees. It was a smart way to stay alive when the world was full of threats. But now, we're not scanning for lions from treetops. We have maps, drones, and Google Earth. Yet, your brain still pushes you to climb. Like, I climbed onto my kitchen counter last week to see over my fence. It turns out I could have just walked around. This instinct is pointless now. It makes us look silly and risk a fall. And speaking of instincts that make us look foolish, let's talk about why you're always trying to blend in with the crowd. Number 3, trying to blend in with the crowd. You're climbing to high places for no reason, but let's talk about why you're always trying to blend in with the crowd. Do you ever need to dress or act like everyone else just to fit in? That's your ancient brain playing it safe. Back in the day, standing out from the group could get you kicked out of the tribe, and being a loner meant you were easy prey for predators or couldn't share resources. Blending in was a survival strategy to stay protected and accepted. But now, we're not in small tribes fighting to survive. We've got communities, individuality, and the freedom to be ourselves. Yet, your brain still pushes you to conform. I wore the same jacket as my friends last month because I didn't want to stand out, but it wasn't even my style. I looked like a clone. This instinct is pointless. It stops us from being our true selves. And while we're on instincts that hold us back, let's talk about why you're always looking for patterns that aren't there. Number 2, looking for patterns that aren't there. You're trying to blend in for no reason, but let's talk about why you're always looking for patterns that aren't there. Ever see a cloud and think, that looks like a face? Or hear a noise and think it's a sign? That's your ancient brain trying to make sense of the world. Back in the day, spotting patterns was a survival skill, like noticing the tracks of a predator or the signs of a coming storm. It helped our ancestors predict danger and stay alive. But now, we're not reading animal tracks to survive. We've got weather apps and GPS. Yet your brain still tries to find meaning in everything. Like, I heard my phone buzz 3 times last week and thought it was some cosmic signal. It turns out it was just a low battery. This instinct is pointless now. It just makes us superstitious or paranoid for no reason. And speaking of overthinking, let's talk about the most pointless instinct, why you're always ready to fight or flee over nothing. Number 1, ready to fight or flee over nothing. You're seeing patterns that don't exist, but let's talk about the most pointless instinct, being ready to fight or flee over nothing. Ever feel your palms sweat and your heart race when you're about to send a text or walk into a meeting? That's your fight or flight response going haywire. Back in the day, this instinct was a lifesaver. It pumped adrenaline so we could either fight off a predator or run from danger like a charging rhino. It was perfect for surviving in the wild. But now we're not facing rhinos. We're facing emails, social events, and awkward small talk. Yet your brain still thinks every little stress is a life or death situation. I got so nervous before a Zoom call last week that I was ready to sprint out the door over a virtual meeting, dude. This instinct is pointless now. It makes us anxious when we should be chilling. Our brains need to update their software already. Subscribe to see them.